How's it going, everybody? It's boy Pixelated Pat, and I'm back with another episode of our Pokemon Gaia Hardcore Nuzlocke. We've got some huge developments for the story today, including crippling senior citizen and taking hallucinogenic drugs in a cave. As much as I'd like to say don't try this at home, if I want to become the ultimate villain of Pokemon Gaia, then I must embrace my role as a spokesperson of irresponsibility. Try this at home, try this in public, try it everywhere. As long as you're in the video game. See what I did there? Anyways, in case you were wondering why I got stuck behind that tree and why it took me so long to get out of that room, it doesn't have anything to do with the video game's coding or anything like that. It's because this is the first footage I recorded after my touchscreen started to go haywire after the water damage my phone took last week. Like I promised, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure we complete this run because the lore is just too strong at this point. That, and I don't want my first Nuzlocke on YouTube to end to a video game curse. At this point, I'll just have to treat it like it's another part of the challenge, but if anything, that'll make it that much more special when we get to the finish line. Anyways, I kinda yapped over the first encounter of the episodes to say hello to Dawn and Pachirisu. While I would prefer either a Pikachu so we could have evolved it into a Raichu as a way to pay homage to my mascot for the last year, or a Flaffy so we could have raised it into a Mega Ampharos, I'm gonna do what I always do whenever I'm forced to capture the encounter I didn't want, and that's look at the potential upside it brings to the table. In Pachirisu's case, it gives us a secondary electric type to back up Zebstrika and gives us access to another Pokemon that can use Thunderbolt. There will never be a time when that isn't useful, so I guess we'll see what Dawn can do, although it definitely won't be in the next gym because the leader of that gym uses ground type Pokemon. That being said, it's honestly kind of wild to me that we're this close to the end of the run, not counting the half-month hiatus I took in January right after we started the run over on Instagram and before we took it over here to YouTube in the beginning of February. We've been on this journey for about 2 months now, but it feels like it was only yesterday when we started this run, and it's hard to believe that we're inching this much closer to the end. That's one reason why I want to do everything I can to finish this run despite the technical difficulties, because we were just about to face the Pokemon League last year when we got hit with the Let's Play curse and the Crystal Randomizer over on Instagram, and I refuse to let that happen again. After all, the pain of losing all the Pokemon I'd been raising on that star-studded roster was more unbearable than having to RIP a great Pokemon in a Nuzlocke, especially because there wasn't anything I could have done to prevent it. Luckily, this time around the touchscreen fuckery isn't anywhere near as bad as it was last year when my motherboard was straight up fried, so we'll just have to cross our fingers that it'll hold up until after we can complete this run. Now it's time for us to cripple a senior citizen. You know what that means? Cue the OST. So starting off the battle, this hot old lady leaves with Miss Magius, which we are able to take down quickly with a crunch due to the fact that Miss Magius has poor physical defense. After that, she follows up by sending in this nasty looking Houndoom, so we make the quick switch into Nidoking just in case this motherfucker has Thunder Fang, and I wouldn't be surprised if it did. One Earth Power later, and that is 2 Pokemon down already. And after that, she instantly counters us by sending in the Psychic and Flying type Pokemon Sigilyph, so we make the switch again so that way we don't risk losing our only Poison type Pokemon. We give the stage to Rizzy Azumarill, and after it sets up screens and hits us with a Psychic, we score a huge crit with Ice Punch to knock out the Sigilyph. And I gotta say, that was huge. Power. However, we can't afford to get too comfortable just yet because she then sends in this very threatening Drapion, so we make the switch back into the Fawn so we can take care of this huge threat, and just like that, she has only one Pokemon standing between us and another victory. Shout out to the Fawns for being so clutch. For her final Pokemon, she sends in this Gengar, so we make the switch out from the Fawn since I'm not too confident his special defense can take a Mega Boosted Shadow Ball, which officially hands the reins for the match over to our new friend Luna the Linoon, officially making her debut to the battlefield after capturing her a few episodes ago. I figure she would be a good counter for Gengar due to the fact that Mega or not, it can't hit us with Stab, and due to the fact that Gengar loses Levitate upon Mega Evolution, Linoon is able to score as easy of a knockout as you can get, and just like that, we've officially crippled a senior citizen. And I feel like Markiplier, cause smash! Anyways, after we cripple the senior citizen by defeating her in a Pokemon battle and stealing her retirement money, she gets super salty and destroys the entrance to the temple. And while I feel like it would have been easier if Oscar, Marina, and I had our Pokemon work together to move the rocks like the Cinnabar Gym episode of the Indigo series, we're forced to go underground to find a way out, which is fine with me because it gives us yet another map we can capture a Pokemon on, and having the opportunity to add to our already amazing roster is something I won't ever complain about. Anyways, after we hit up our healing bitch real quick to heal our Pokemon, we move right into the Ignis Catacombs. After accidentally pressing A to put another repel up and running the steps off, we get our second counter of the episode, and that is none other than Cofagrigus, yet another Pokemon I wasn't too happy to encounter but still caught regardless. There were way better Pokemon we could have captured here like Pupitar, Shelgon, and Noibat. At the very least, our new friend gives us something to back up Banette, so I'll take it. As much as I'd love to add a pseudo-legendary Dragon type, I'm just fine with settling for depth at the Ghost type, especially because Banette doesn't have the greatest defenses. So welcome to the team, friend. Anyways, after we heal up our Pokemon, we move right along and go up to the statue, which puts a drop of acid on our tongues and forces us into a battle with Regigigas, and this is where we officially lose the run due to the fact that we are using a legendary Pokemon, which as many of you may know is absolutely illegal in hardcore Nuzlocke. Now obviously that's a joke because it's a story beat that you're forced into in order to progress, however I still would have considered it a loss if I had fainted there due to the fact that a wipe at any point means game over regardless of whether or not it's an unavoidable story beat. And I'm glad that I was able to avoid a wipe right here because Regice does not have the greatest defense. Luckily we're able to take down Regigigas again, which only leaves us with one more match against it. And the really cool thing about defeating the Regigigas Acid Trip statue is the fact that each one grants us with a chest that has a really cool item in it, this time the Relic Crown, which we can sell to an NPC over on Prestimos Island. Anyways, after finding the final Regigigas Acid Trip statue, we're able to knock it out with 3 hits with the Registeel that is definitely not ours, and just like that we finally have access to the rest of the catacombs, and man I must say I was glad to be getting out of there. After all, how am I supposed to roll over to Orbitus region and give orders to my biker gang if I'm stuck inside a cave? Come to think of it, that's actually pretty crazy that the senior citizen tried to straight up murder us like that, but we did defeat her in a Pokemon battle, so I guess we can call it fair play. After all, game is game and I recognize and respect it, and not just because I want to smash. That being said, we are fast approaching the end of the video, so I just want to take this moment to thank all of you absolute legends who've been taking the time out of your day to support the channel, especially now that we're facing some technical difficulties that are putting the run in danger. It's super frustrating whenever I'm trying to record footage or create a video and my touchscreen just starts to go haywire, but I'm always able to keep patient and work through it because I have all of you absolute legends supporting me. More than anything, I want to finish this run in style, and I can't think of a better way to do that than with all of you by my side. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video and want to support the channel, and don't forget to subscribe if you're new. That's all I got for you today, and I'll see you in the next one. This is Pixelated Pat signing off.